please welcome Sir Gareth to the podium. Thank you.
And I started my career at Crystal Palace, and my wife is from Croydon, so I owe this part of the world a lot. Important for you to think about how you use social media and whether, what you expose yourself to. I know there was a poll recently that said, so your age group, 16s to 24s, social media is more toxic and addictive in the past 5 years. It's top of the list of things that people say is a negative influence on their lives. Negative impact on sleep, attention span, work. Does that sound familiar? It's an unhealthy problem that's been brewing for a long time. In this world of being online, a lot of young men are turning to the internet for their role models. And they're looking for direction in a different place. Lots of boys are withdrawing, they're reluctant to talk, we're not very good at opening up, we think it's a weakness. And boys are falling into unhealthy alternatives like over-addiction to gaming or gambling or pornography, which become dangerous outlets over time. So there's this void where maybe some boys are looking for validation in the wrong places. And that void's being filled by callous, manipulative male influencers. They tell young men that strength means never showing emotion, that success is only measured by money or dominance, that the world's against them, life's a zero-sum game of winners and losers. But, we all know who those people are. And let me tell you all, boys and young women, they're not the role models you want to follow. One of the biggest decisions you have to make is who you mix with, who you follow, who you listen to. It makes a crucial part in your life. Because belief and resilience aren't things that you're born with. They're actually things that you develop step by step. The experiences that you have in life are the things that help you develop them. I want to talk about 3 things. First thing is identity. Who am I? And defining your identity is, part of that is history. Clearly race plays a significant part in that. Many people, England, when I was playing, we didn't have as many black players. Paul Ince in our team, Les Ferdinand. There was this unspoken thing with the supporters about race, which was horrible. Such a big part of our country, having British nationality, and also family heritage that you're really proud of, in Africa, in Caribbean, in Asia, in Europe. So our country has to change. Our country has to realise that. People are proud of both those things, and so many different players. But we found a collective identity, and that didn't erase who people were, that strengthened it. Meant that when we were talking about should we take the knee or not as a team, actually they became easy decisions. Not just because of what we stood for, but because of the message we wanted to send to young people. We knew young people would see the team doing it, and they'd ask their parents, why are they doing that? And it would start conversations, which is how you start change and progress. Connecting with others is also important. You need to feel part of something bigger. Because human beings are social creatures. We make relationships because they're important for our survival, our well-being. So, also, no matter how talented you are as an individual, you can't achieve anything in your life on your own. It's impossible without the right people around you. You'll hear a lot of people talk about culture. What is culture? In my experience, it's basically, this is how we do things around here. So the first day you joined this school, you'd have been looking around. What do people wear? How do people behave? How do the teachers interact? Like every time you join a team or you join a new group, you're all working those things out. When I joined a new club, that everybody has the potential to live a life of meaning. Live a life where you treat others with respect. A life where you work hard, where you grow, you improve. A life where you can look back and say, I gave my best. I gave everything I could. No regrets. Some of those things didn't work out. But I think you always want to look back and say, I gave it everything I had. So let me go back to that penalty. Well, each of you, at some point, you'll have your own version of that penalty shootout. And you might not be in front of 90,000 people. And it might not be on a football pitch. But there'll be a moment where you have to step up and have belief and resolve and determination. And if it turns out that in that moment you don't do as well as you hoped, maybe exam doesn't go well, maybe you get rejected from a job interview, maybe you just feel like someone's let you down, well, you have a choice. Do you let that moment define you? Do you give up? Or do you get back up and learn from it and go again? That choice, that ability to build belief, the ability to find resilience, that's what makes the difference. Not just in football, but in life. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for that. In comparison to most figures in the public eye, and certainly in sport, you always seem to stay much calmer and more composed. So how do you cope so well in such highly pressure situations?
Well, thank you. I'm generally quite a calm person, so I have to be prodded a few times before I'll bark. So that's one part. But the second, I probably do have a slightly higher tolerance for those things, which might be genetic. But the biggest thing is that I've just been around the block a long time, and you realise that there's always a way back.
I know you've talked a lot on setbacks and failure, but in those initial moments after you had significant failure, what is your thoughts and what do you do next?
We focused on more positives when we'd failed than negatives.
What's your opinion on alternative therapies for elite athletes? For example, I read that you hired a breathing guru for vegans, and I was interested in how that works.
Yeah, so a psychologist, definitely had somebody that came in and dealt with breathing exercises. Quite a lot of players meditate. So actually, having those moments where there's a lot of noise in the world, isn't it?
After the Euro finals against Italy, you better than most will know about the abuse that some players faced after missing their penalties. So, as a coach, especially for those young players, how do you help them face problems which they can't tackle directly or off the field?
And so when we had discussions about taking the knee when moving forward, they knew what everybody was thinking, and some of them were kind of, no, I just want it to be about the football again, because they're tired of fighting the fight. But we felt, no, it was more important than that. We needed to say what we believed in, needed to stand for what we believed in, for not just what it meant for us as a team, but, as I said earlier, for younger generations as well.